Good morning. Good morning. Is it working? I don't know. Let me see. I just need to see somebody. I need to know that the volume is good and then I'll be happy. I just need to find my... Oh, hang on a minute. I just need my phone. Excuse me. So that I can ask somebody. There you go. Good morning. Good morning. I don't like to press any buttons. Yay! There you are. Just answer me this before we continue. Can you hear me? Is the volume good? That's the main thing here, because we've come off live Skype and had to fiddle with some buttons, and I'd like to know that it worked. So just tell me whether you can hear me or whether you can't hear me, and then we can continue. That's why I came to the party early, because I want to know. Come on then, let me know. Sound good? Sound good. Thank you, Jim. That's all I needed to know. Well, how are you? How are you? How was your weekend? Did any of you watch Hochanda? Did any of you join in the birthday celebrations? We haven't finished yet. Paul's taken over now. I've run out of steam. Bless him. So Paul's going to be on at 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock, mopping up, so to speak. Cool, we've been busy. Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen, Marion, wünsche ich dir auch. Come on in, come on in. God, what a weekend. I feel like I've been hit by a truck. I was so looking forward to coming and hanging out with my friends in the SHAC. Oh, my head is splitting. I did have a cup of tea as well. Hang on a minute, I'll go and get it. There we go. Yeah, that was a marathon, eh? Okay. Good. One day at a time. That's how I handled it. One day at a time. 1 hour at a time. One project at a time. 1 minute at a time. You know, it's the only way to do it, really, isn't it? It works that way, you know. It does. It certainly does. And then slowly around me here, it's all right, I've pushed it all to the back now. It's all behind the cameras. There's just mountains of stamps and pens and pencils and brayers, and I've just moved it all behind. I've got the rest of the week to sort it out now. I'll tell you what, I nearly had a breakdown at one point. I thought, don't start laughing. I'm not in the SHAC. It's a different setting. And it was when Adam this morning, he was talking about the tooth fairy, you know? Because all the little pixie stamps, the little whimsy stamps from Marina Fedotova. And he was talking about the tooth fairy. And I remember having that. Do you remember I said about having a German mum, like Bob's your ankle and Fanny's your aunt? And now I always thought, why would Bob be my ankle, you know? I don't know if you remember that conversation, how you hear things and you think that that's the way it's been said for years. Well, I always thought that it was the tooth fairy, as in P&O, you know, like the boats. Because my mum always said, the tooth fairy is coming. Well, you listen carefully, the tooth fairy, right? Well, to me, that says fairy, the tooth fairy. So I always thought it was the tooth fairy, not the tooth fairy. Difference. And so when he was talking this morning about the little tooth fairies, I thought, shut up, Barbara. He's not interested in whether your mother thought it was a fairy or a fairy. And I was well into my teens before I figured out that it wasn't a fairy coming to take my tooth away. It was really, I think it might even have been by the time Grace was a nipper and she started saying, because she was American, she had an American accent, a tooth fairy. And then it was like obvious that it wasn't a tooth fairy. Stupid. Is it 10 o'clock yet? Yes, it is. Good morning and welcome to the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. Come on in, grab a seat. It is so good to have your company. It's a little bit overcast. I've been absolutely oblivious to the weather this weekend. I had no idea. Whatever. Cloudy Norfolk. Yeah, cloudy Kent as well. Cloudy East Sussex. It's good to be back. Highly successful, very successful. Hard work though. Hard work. Hard work. I'll get my hair cut this afternoon. Look at the state of it. Right, we're ready to do the background on these eagles. I managed to think that through as well. So I thought, because I looked on Facebook and I saw several of you said, can't wait to see what how we're going to do the background with Barbara. Can't wait to see what Barbara comes up with for the background. And I thought, oh my God, I better think of something then. Because I kept looking at it thinking, what's with all the spaghetti? And then somebody called it tagliatelle. So it was funny. But I have come up with something cool and I hope that you approve. Right, are you ready? Come on in. We're going to make tagliatelle in the background. No, it's really cool. It's nice, it's nice, it's nice. Right, you ready? So, you have no idea how happy I am to be back in my little shack with you guys. Right, here we go. So that was where we got to, wasn't it? I'm still a bit behind with my birds, but I'll get there, I'll get there. So this is the one we're going to work on. And this is what we're going to do. There you go. Check it out. Do you like? So I thought I'd take you back. I mean, this would look better if this was all coloured in, but it isn't done yet. But it doesn't matter about that. What's important is the background. See, because what I like about this is it looks like the birds are creating a frame around the backdrop. So you're looking through. And it isn't completely finished yet, but you get the picture. You literally get the picture. Let's have a look up close and then I'll tell you what I see and see if you can see it too. Right, so we're going to do the branches. They haven't finished yet. We're not done with them. They're going to be a little bit darker as well. But I was trying to get the light to hit the branches. Do you see how they're hitting the twigs and the branches? Right, and then in the background, you got to follow me on this one. In the background, you've got the Manzano Mountains. Just round the corner here is Tiqueras, okay, near Albuquerque in the mountains. And these are the Manzano Mountains. And that, down there, is a salt lake, because there's loads of salt lakes around there, right? They're just old, ancient lake beds. But there's a mission trail. There's literally a salt mission trail. And where our house is in New Mexico, it's only 5 minutes drive and to get to one of these big salt lakes. And that's exactly what it looks like. There are mountains. This is the tail end of the mountains. And then you've got the Manzano Mountains. And then you've got Salt Lake. So it's white. It's, well, off-white, dirty. Dirty salt. Hasn't been purified. So I did it a little bit light grey. But I thought, from an arty point of view, just opinions, you know, this is what I thought. I didn't use any other colours than what we used in the birds. So the yellow that we used for the beak is the yellow that I used for the sunset. And then the grey for the mountains is the same grey as we used in the background. So it's still a work in progress, but I think you see where I'm headed with this, don't you? Yeah? So you like? I love. I thought you'd enjoy this, rather than do a blue sky again. But it's up to you. You want to do a blue sky? Golly, do a blue sky. So that's what we're going to do today. And if it stretches into tomorrow, do you know what? That's fine too, because I have no idea where we're headed. I need to regroup in my head a little bit. And you understand that, surely you do. You don't, you know, I've got to pace myself. I'm the driver, remember? Driver needs to take breaks and drink plenty of water. Right, so where was I? we're going to do these. We're going to do let's have a look. Let's get a system in place. What did we do first? Oh, right. First of all, we need to draw the mountains, because if you look at the two, right, obviously in this one, there are no mountains. That's where we started, and this is what we've done. So we've created, this is where we get RT. Okay. So what we're going to do next is draw the landscape in first. It's really easy. Come on, we're doodlers, remember? I did want to mention that lovely Lucy's in the building with us today. So if you've got any questions, Lucy is with you and she'll be able to point you in any direction. Lucy's also the lovely artist and illustrator who created those brilliant stamps on Sunday. You know, the tweets. Gorgeous. Yeah, she's good. She's very good. So that's Lucy. She's in with us. And so I thought the best thing to do, what we're going to use today, I'm going to use a pencil. I'm going to use a H pencil. These glasses. It's either, let's have a look what we got. An H pencil or an HB pencil. Okay. And that's what I'll use to draw very lightly. Just put the mountains in, not hard, just gives me an edge, just gives me a line to go to. And then I think what we'll do is let's put that in first, and then I'll figure it out as we go along. Are you ready for this? If you're wondering, who is this bird, right? My name is Barbara Gray. It still is. And I've got a company called Clarity Stamps, because there are loads of people joining us, you know, and they think, who's that wacky English bird? Well, this wacky English bird has got a company in England called Clarity Stamp. And what we do is every day, don't we, at 10 o'clock, we hang out together, Monday to Friday, and we doodle and we draw and we colour and we keep each other company during this COVID pandemic. That's what we do. And we've been going for, this is our 110. 110. I can't remember. I can't wait till 180. I'll have to figure out when it is, and then we could have a party. All right, misspent youth. That is darts. Okay, so these are the postcards that we're working with, aren't they? These are our sets of 3 postcards. So every other week we change channels, don't we? And at the moment it's all a little bit upside down. So we're sort of mid-project, but we're at the beginning of the week. But I think we're all cool with that, aren't we? Please? I can't go any faster than I'm going. So that's what we're doing today. And the bottom line is, it doesn't really matter what we do. I don't think. I think the main thing is, for me personally, it's just being together and doing something creative, something safe, something. So it's great, you know. The longer we do this, the SHAC, the more I appreciate it. That's a fact. Right, so come on, let's get going. Let's get going. But no rushing, yeah? Are we cool? Look, I've had to change the blinking. It's all right, I don't want to move it. Right, we're on it. I may have to move it a little bit. I had to come in a little bit for the telly. Right, so what we're going to do is around about his face here, we're going to make the land line, the flat. So we'll come along here. We'll go along there like that. There, this isn't too hard, is it? There you go. There you go. So you're going to put a line in there like that, and that's going to be salt flats, mountains. Yeah? Right, can I get him in a bit tighter now? And I'm not hardwired into the... That's a bit of a result as well. There you go. You can see better now, can't you? Yeah? All right. Okay. Everybody all right? Everybody happy? You like this? I mean, if you don't like it, you could always do something different. But I just thought it was quite arty. Right, and now we're going to do the mountain here. So let's have a look. We're going to start a little bit above the eagle's head, and then we're going to come up. And you can be quite jiggly about this one. And then come back down again. Let's come down. Right, down we come. Back there. I'm going to go in there like that. And it comes down like that. And then it's going to come across. This one's going to come down like this. There you go. So it's gone like that, like that. behind the eagle, up there to the top, and then come back down again. Yeah? I don't want to do it too hard. I can always come in later and do it a bit more. Right, and then we've got another one coming in from this angle. So we can come up here a little bit, and then we'll just come down, and that one's going to give us another shading opportunity. So you've got that one coming up there, and then down here is another little one, another little trail. So this is, because this is what it's like, you know, in New Mexico. The Manzano Mountains. The Rockies are further up north, in the north of the state, and then it comes down to the Manzano. But even, like, it's interesting, like where we've got our house in Mountain Air, you don't realise that you're 6,000 feet above sea level. You're on a plateau, you're on a mountain, you're up there. You just don't realise it. It's brilliant, really. And then above it goes up again, but you're already on an elevation. So, and that's where these lakes are. That was the ocean. Work that out. Yeah, weird, isn't it? So there are these beautiful ancient lake beds, and that's what this is here. I thought that was quite nice. So we've got that in place, and then I thought the first thing I would like to do is actually, because it's dead easy as well, have you got a white pencil or a cream? So I'm using ivory. Do you know what? I'm going to have to move the camera because this is too close for me. Can we just bear with me a minute? Let me just move the camera a little bit. I'm going to fiddle a little bit. It just is so... Let me work out where I am here. Because the camera, we had to fiddle around. That's better. It's too close to me. Okay, that's better. Right, apologies. So what we've got here is ivory. See? It'll do for today. I'll work it out later. Right, ivory. And what we're going to use is ivory, or if you haven't got ivory, white, right? And what we'll do is, you see these lines here? See, this is going to be down here. I'm going to have to, this is going to take some getting used to at the moment, but I haven't got time to fiddle with the camera now with the settings. Right. There you go. So it's coming down. We'll put the sun in afterwards. Let's get these branches done. So what we're doing is we're pressing quite hard, and we're putting in the light. So all the branches on the side, if the light is coming from here, it's going to be, you see how it's all on this side? Yeah? So we're going to put the ivory or the white. It'd be best if you had an ivory colour. Yeah. And we're going to make it look like the sun is hitting. And you can press quite hard. There's a reason why I'm saying press quite hard. Okay, so let's do that, shall we? This is dead cool. So we're going to start over here. We've done that, and let's just get this colour in now. So we're going to put this ivory in. Trouble is, you can't really see what you're doing, but we're just going to, you will in a minute, you watch. Let's just do a few of them. So you know why you're doing it before you carry on. I think sometimes you need to not only just follow instructions, but actually know why you're doing something for it to not just make sense, but for you to remember it too. Right, so it's always this side, let's say, and there's not too, it doesn't have to be too perfect, but you can hear I'm pressing quite hard. Let's have a look here. So it's on that side there, and we're colouring in the branch, but we're using quite hard. I wonder if you can see how hard I'm pressing. Just let it, see, it's actually getting a sheen because I'm pressing so hard. You see what I'm doing? But I'm just putting the colour down on the side that the sun is going to hit, whichever way, yeah. So you get that kind of haunted look. up here, look, it's really cool. See? So we'll do a couple on that side. This one as well here. Is that all right? Are we cool with this? If you're wondering where this ivory one, do you remember that set of 12? This set of 12 pencils we put together, the polychromos, so that those of you who had pergoliners didn't have to buy the whole big polychromos tin, because we're going to use a lot of the greys and what have you. Well, all these colours that I'm using here, with the exception of the yellow or whatever it was I used. Let me have a look. Dark chrome yellow. All of them are in that set of 12. Lucy will show you if you don't know where to find it. She'll help you. Ooh, my tummy! Did you hear that? There you go. And breathe. Do you know I'm sprung like a coil today? Got up at 5 o'clock. It's all right though. It's all right. I can think of a lot worse things. You know, I said today we've got to be grateful. Got to be grateful that we're so busy. Really, really, really got to be grateful that we're so busy. Eh? I know that a lot of poor companies are not making they're not making it. So, full of gratitude. I've got to come down, sorry. Don't shout at me. Not today. Today's not a day to tut. I wouldn't recommend it today, people. What's that there? Oh, okay. Let's call it yeah, a little bit of branch. It's all right. They'll look brilliant by the time we're done. We're just not done yet. Let's turn it round. Right, now this time. All right, well, let's leave it there. Let's just do these ones, and then you'll get it. Okay, I would say that's a good idea. So what you've done is, you've done this side, haven't you? You've hit this side, yeah? Look up close so you can study it, and then you know what you're headed towards. You see? Because it looks like the light's hitting the branches, doesn't it? Got it? Cool. So what we need now is my favourite. That warm grey number 2. That's the one we're going to use now. So let's have a look what happens. If you come in from the other side with warm grey number 2, let's just do little circular motions over the whole thing. Go over the ivory as well. And what you'll see is, look, it's a complete block. Wherever it should be anyway. Go over lightly and see if it's worked. And you should get a really gritty kind of, as you come round here, wherever there's no ivory, it will go warm grey number 2, right? But as you come round, you get an instant, see if it worked. Did it work for you? Did it work for you? You see? So what's happening here, just in case you haven't, we've done this a few times with this resist technique on feathers, but we haven't done it like a solid block like this. But you can see the idea is that what's happening is the light colour, whether it was white or cream or like I used ivory, the light colour is creating a block. It's a seal. And that's one of the things about polychromos or the pergoliners, because they're oil-based, wax-based, what you're doing is you're creating, you know, when we say, don't press too hard, because if you press too hard, then it creates like a seal, and then you can't add any more layers. So what we're doing here is exactly that. We're pressing really hard, so you can't add any more layers. So you're using what is considered to be a weak spot in the pencils as a trick, as a technique. And we do it for the feathers when you want to get that little fleck in. Or do you remember when we did the owls? So when you press hard with polychromos or the B pencils in the pergoliners, that's what happens. But it's a really cool effect. It's a really cool effect. And if you feel you didn't press hard first time round, go again. Make sure you're working on a hard surface. But you'll see as you go over, wherever you didn't put the light colour, this light grey will just... Don't want to press too hard with the light grey because we want to put a dark grey over the top as well. But what's fascinating, let me see if I can show you this, see if it will work. If I see this bit here, for example, if I go and I'm going over the middle bit now, just over the middle bit. Look, and I'm pressing harder and harder. But what happens is, I mean, you don't want to overcook it, but the idea is that I can go down the centre and it creates depth. Look, it's very good. And when you put the ivory down, if you did it in a kind of quite a gritty, random fashion, then you automatically get a gritty, random illusion of light, which gives you that feeling that the branches have got texture and dimension. And we can always add a darker grey, and we will. But I thought it was good I think it's good to actually know why we're doing something, don't you think? So now you know the rest of the story. Okay, so let me just check which bit's which here. That's that branch there, isn't it? Yeah. Got to keep your eye in, haven't you? And now we can just relax into it, really. Now we can just chill. Now you know the story. And now you know why we're doing it. I think it's just cool to know why. I think, you know, those kids at school that always said, but why? But why? They learn best when they know why something is happening. I was definitely one of those. If you couldn't explain to me but why, then it didn't sink in for me. I always needed to know why I was doing something. That makes complete sense, doesn't it? Of course it does. But why is it like that? Well, because it is. That's not an answer, is it? It's like, well, yeah, but why? Yeah. Give me a reason. There. It's good, isn't it? I think what I like is that we're not reaching for loads of different colours. We're using the same colours in the background now and in the foreground. And if you get bored with doing the branches, see what we could do is do the mountains and then come back to the branches. That's a good one. Got some real grit going on that one. Do you like this? What do you think? Is this sort of up your street? It's quite authentic, really. Yeah, the Salt Mission Trail, it's called. Well, there are loads of them, really, all over the place, but the one that I know in New Mexico is quite... The first time you see it, you think, am I hallucinating here? Because it's just this vast expanse of white, and it looks like sand, but it's not, it's salt. It's salt. And it used to be, right up to the 20th century, it used to be a real busy, like a wagon road, the trail, and that looked good. It used to be a wagon road, so there was a lot of industry, and salt was a very valuable commodity. It was a precious commodity for the locals, for traders, for Native American Indians, you know. Now I've got to be careful now because I haven't done this bit. I've got to go back in with my ivory, otherwise I'm going to suddenly have no shade. The reason that I suggested we put the ivory in first before we start with the background is so that it's more prominent, you know, and we stay within those lines, and so we don't go into the branch with orange or you know, from the sun. So once you've done the branches, you see, you've sealed them, and then you can go in with the background and you haven't got to be so pedantic. So another reason why we started at the front, just in case you wanted to know. There is a logic behind it. So now I'm going to turn around. If there's my big sunset, so then I've just got to figure out, okay, here we go again. So my sun's going to hit this one. It's a nice colour. I like this one. Look, I better get another one. I think we sell them individually as well. Lucy will let you know. I think we do. I can't remember much today, to be fair. Let's have a think for a minute. So that comes around there. Okay, so this one's going to be on that side there. Oh, relax your shoulders, Gray. Honestly, you don't realise how tense you get, do you? And at 3 in the morning, there I am, blimmin'. God, I tell you. Trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing in a demo. Ugh. And then you get 4 minutes to perform. But never mind. Done now. So again, just got to work out where the sun's going to hit, see? There we are. Now, let's have a look for a minute. How are you doing? What did you do over the weekend anyway? Did you have a good weekend? Or were you stuck to the telly like me? Sorry about that. Get a break now. Get a break, okay? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that one there. It doesn't take long, this really, does it? Eh? Just got to press hard to make it, to seal it. That's the thing. I think it's going to hit, the sun's going to hit on this side. This is where it gets all spooky because it's underneath. Right, here we go. So we're turning in now, coming in on that side. I want to do it nicely because I said last week, when it's completed, well, this one, this is going to go at, I'm going to laminate this and put it on my house, on the house, when we've paid the mortgage off, which is going to take a little while. But that's all right, I've got a little while to finish it. Now I'm going to laminate it and I'm going to stick it in the porch. In the porch. That was another funny. Let me think, where am I going now? So this one comes up there like that. Oh yeah, okay. A couple of years ago I said to Dave, I think I'd like to get a new porch. I'd like to get a new porch. I think it'd be nice. And he said, really? And I thought, well, that's a bit of an overreaction. I said, well, yeah. I thought it'd be good. He said, right. And I thought, well, blimey. I didn't say I want to move into a castle. I just thought it'd be nice to have a nice new porch. Because it rains in the old one, but I didn't go into it. I just thought, well, whatever. Funny reaction, Ro. And then I think he realised that he'd overreacted a little bit. Because we were driving to work. And I went quiet and started looking out the window, as you do, rather than buy into it. And because he really did overreact, you know what I mean? Especially since we have had the leaking and that. I thought, well, whatever. And then we'd gone another half a mile or so. And then he said, yes, actually, you're right. I was driving behind one the other day, a new one, and they are very, very nice. And I said, a Porsche, Dave, not a Porsche. I don't want a bloody Porsche. So it was a bit of a standing joke between us. Can you imagine what he must have thought? I want an £80,000 car. I was like, no, I just want a Porsche that doesn't leak. So yeah. So I got them in new Porsche. And it's lovely. And it's worth a lot more to me than a Porsche. I do like Porsche Carreras, I have to say, but I just, you know, I don't think I want one. But it's that misunderstanding, isn't it? It's hearing things that comical, really. There, doesn't that look good? Well, it does from where I'm sitting. Have I got the right glasses on? Yeah, I have. Oh, actually, now I can put my Dame Edna's on for the first time in 4 days. Oh yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. See, it's nice when you go back over the... You can really see, because the darker colour gets right into the bits that you missed with the cream colour. Is it working? What's the time? past. Okay. We're not going to rush, are we? Please say no. We're not going to rush. No, we're not. It's going to look brilliant when it's done. Yeah. Is the sound still all right? Let's have a look. My batteries. I've been going through batteries like that. There's no tomorrow. Let me just check quickly that I don't suddenly go, oh no, that's fine. We're still working on a full tank. The bus has still got a full tank of petrol. It's okay. Cool. Oh, you don't realise how relaxing this is, do you? You've got to do it to really get it, I think. You really do. There you go. And then we'll just get in there. I like this. And then we just got to decide how dark we want to make these branches. But I would say we go phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Okay, so these are real, what we're going to call these branches, these are real old, dead, they're not, you know, they're not leafy. This is not a leafy area, this is desert, this is, there's no green here. And so we can make these old and gnarled, and we will. I'm not finished yet. So I say we go in 2 phases, 3 phases. We're doing this bit, and then when we've done this, Then we'll go back in and we'll make the landscape. We'll make the mountains and the sky. And then we can decide if we want to, see, I quite like this sort of, it's quite spooky because they're quite light. You know, I think if you make them too dark, see, until I've finished my eagles, I can't really get the full extent of the depth, if you know what I mean. And if I make these too dark, then they're just going to fade into the mountain, aren't they? So probably want to leave them a little bit light. Nice though. Did anybody already finish their picture? Did anybody do something different? I'd love to see what you did on, see what you came up with on Clarity Worldwide. Bound to be some of you that have finished the background. Be interesting to see what you did. I haven't had a chance to have a look or have a proper catch up, I'm afraid. Right, we've got any more branches going on? Oh yeah, there's another couple here. There you go. See, it's a resist technique. It's good, isn't it? There you go. A couple of years ago when Dave and I were in New Mexico, we went down to White Sands, clues in the name. It's actually well, it's a monument. It's like a park, but it's the strangest place because you're in the middle of New Mexico. Well, no, you're a bit further south than the middle. That's not true. But then you're in these white sands, like really, really hot as well. But it's snow white. It's not even, they're not joking when they call them white. It's white sands. So tomorrow what I'll do is, I'll do a little bit of research and I'll tell you all about it, because it's right by a big military complex. But it's a fascinating place. And it's surreal. It's like you've entered a different dimension or a different world. It's a very interesting place. Blimmin' hot. I know that you couldn't take your flip-flops off because they have these, they're like, you know when you're at the water and you have like, what's it called? I've got a bit of brain fog going on today. When you're at the water and then you walk out on a pier, like a pier? That's it. It's a little pier, little piers. And they have these little kind of viewing piers that reach out over the dunes, because there's just like miles and miles and miles of these white sand dunes. And so they've constructed these walks for people that look like piers, or like Santa Cruz Beach boardwalk, that kind of thing. So it's like a boardwalk, but it gets so hot. Because I thought, I'd be nice, sand, take my shoes off. Not. It was so hot. You'd burn the bottom of your feet in seconds. So it's like, put your shoes back on, shoes back on. But it was, yeah, really way too, like, white sand, sucked in the heat like nothing on earth. But what an amazing place, you know. What an amazing place. I'm so glad that we've had the experience, you know. I think that's it, isn't it? You have to be grateful for what you have experienced. So is that I think that's a branch or one of these old stumps as well. Right, that one's definitely going to get some light shone on it. So we're going ivory. What we got here? Just so that you remember. Ivory. Warm grey 2. Those are the two colours I'm using. I'm not saying you need to use the same colours as me, but I'm just saying those are the colours that I've used. They look good. There you go. And the harder you press, obviously the darker it will get. Another little bit in there. And then I've got a couple up there as well, because that's going to tie it in a minute. So where's the light going to hit that? The light's going to hit that on this side here, there, and there. That's the light. Right, sorted. Pressing hard. See, that's testament to these pencils, you know, to be able to press that hard and it doesn't either crumble or break. But you'll notice that I haven't sharpened that to a fine tip either. Look, it's quite a, I haven't sharpened it. If I sharpen it, it will break if I press that hard. Right, that'll do. So what have I missed? That's a feather. That's a feather. Oh, what have we got down here? More branches. Come on, I didn't even notice them down there, look. It's not till you start looking, is it? Right, light is going to be there. So what's this one then? This is definitely, is that a big branch? Let me just check for a minute. I think that's a branch. That's a branch. Okay. And this bit here is sand dunes again. Yeah. Not sand, Salt Lake. Have you ever been to, I've never been to Salt Lake City or Utah. I imagine if the name should be my indicator, I bet they got Salt Lakes. If there's a Salt Lake City, that's Utah though, isn't it? I've never been to Utah. Or have I? No, I haven't. Reno's in Nevada. Right, there, that looks, now we're cooking with gas. Hey? Yeah, it's looking all right, isn't it? Oh, should we stretch? Stretch. Oh, my back, my neck. My back, my neck. Relax, eh? Down time. It's important. It's what's amazing is it's Monday. It's the beginning of the week. It's supposed to be all fresh as a daisy after a relaxing weekend, but it's not been relaxing. It's been very successful though. I'm very grateful for that. Ah, bestow. Right, I've got 3 sets of glasses here. Further away, medium range, close up. It's great getting old, isn't it? Right, so now, how are we doing? So what I would like to do, I'd like to catch up with you for a start, because I know that you're streets ahead of me. So do you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to finish off these eagles. And then tomorrow, what I think tomorrow we'll do, if you're good with this, tomorrow we'll concentrate on the sky and the mountains, that bit there. I reckon that's the way to go. And then, if we take a darker grey, let me show you. Let's play it safe somewhere. If we take a darker grey, because you see the thing is, these branches, these gnarled old branches, they're in front and behind each other as well, aren't they? So let's just take this example here, right? Let me just get my eye in. I don't want to spot. Let me get a bit of, yeah, that's it. So I've made a bit of a chisel, you know, that just flattened it a little bit. And then, which one was I on? Ah, yeah, that one. So if I come in here, there you go. See, and it's interesting because there's still enough, even though we've sealed it, if I get in with a real tight, dark, so I do want to make that one jump, and the only way I can do that is by adding a little bit of depth. And then it's that whole how much time do you want to spend on this? You have to decide, don't you? Are you doing it for the process? Are you doing it for the end result? Do you care whether that one's behind that one or not? But you see the difference now, just because we added a little bit of depth. So that one, it's also got a little bit of depth. It's going to have a little bit of depth on this side as well, isn't it? So we could just add a little bit of depth on that side as well. Don't have to do loads. Just make it sit behind the other one, eh? That's all. Just make it sit behind the other one. So that's not bad. So as long as we stay within the lines of the big old branches. That's a particularly weird one. There you go. It's all right, you know, taking time a bit. Let's do a little bit of depth in that one there, because this is right behind, isn't it? See? So you've got, got all these different layers. But what we can do is we can put the shade in. We can create more interest without making the branches really, really dark, see? Just make them dark. See, that one there, definitely behind now. But we haven't made it monstrously dark. It's not going to spoil the overall lightness. Yeah. And then that one there's a little bit darker. So what grey am I using? I'm just going to warm grey 5. But you could use any grey, couldn't you? Warm grey 5. It just gives it a kind of a, it's almost a browner colour. A browny grey. Yeah. I bet you could, if you wanted to though, I bet you could take this line art that's in the postcard original, and you could add leaves. You know, I reckon that would look good too. On a different day, you could put, you know, when we doodle leaves, you could do loads of foliage, couldn't you? Like this could be all green with a little flash of sky peeping through, you know, and you could put the leaves, you know, when leaves sit in front and behind one another, so you get different variations because of the sun coming through. Core. I'm not going to say I wish I'd done that now, because I don't. I'm happy with this. But that's something to consider too. Wouldn't that look great? You know, you could put some all leaf, like really nice, that'd look too. Something to think about. So, yeah. So what we can do is just have a look where you need a little bit of shade, and then just go in with a darker grey and add a little bit where there's an overlap. Yeah, get my hair cut today. Woohoo. Karen's one of my best mates, the hairdresser. She said, she texted me, she said, oh, I can't wait to see you. I haven't seen her since March. You know, it's crazy, isn't it? And I said, I know, it's been way too long. So is my hair. Way too long. That's way too long to not have seen a friend. Yeah. But there you go, you know. It is what it is. Isn't it? It's what we keep saying. It is what it is. Can't push the river, you can't fight it. Just have to go with the flow, eh? Go with the flow. There, that's a nice one. I like that. That's cool. So you treat each one individually, see? And you can make little gnarled bits in between. So on the beigey part, you can go in and add a little bit of depth. Just make like a recess, I guess. And if you don't like what you've done, you know that you can just, yeah, this looks good, look. So when you cut in, it's funny, even with the dark one, when you cut into the creamy colour, it doesn't let you. Look, it's good. Nice. Yeah, cool. I could spend all day doing this. And you know what? Apart from going to see Karen, I probably will. Hey? I love it. Just look at that little bit there. Let's have a look. Let's take that piece. I'm going to put my finger to it so I know which bit to show you. There. See? This bit. So when you start to build this up, you can get some real good texture and old, gnarled, dead trees. That's what these are. Old, gnarled, dead stumps. There is no life here. Here is the life. So let's have a look. I know we're going to finish a bit early. I think if you don't mind, I'm going to stop for the day, and you could finish doing the shading. You know, just stick with the branches today and just bring the ones to the front and take the ones to the back, just using that dark grey, and take your time. And if you think you've gone too hard, then get your eraser pencil and rub it out a little bit, okay? And just, it's interesting, when I hold this to the light, I can see it's very shiny where let me see if I can, yeah, you see the light? The ivory colour is really, really shiny. And that's why it's created a complete seal. And it facilitates the shading, because you just can't get in there, which is great, isn't it? So, have I forgotten anything? I'm a little bit foggy today. Do forgive me. Be all right. I'll be as bright as a button again tomorrow. And I'm not going to get it all cut off, but I need it. It's starting to make my neck ache. Anyway, listen, it was good to have your company, and I hope that you enjoy your Monday. And we'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I hope that you like what we've served up today with the eagles in the background. It'll be beautiful when it's done. And tomorrow we will finish it. I think tomorrow we'll be able to say we've completed our work, because we'll do that mountain, we'll do that beautiful sunset, we'll learn how to get that beautiful blend from a bright, beautiful orange out to nothing. And we don't need to add any blue to the sky. The orange will do the job for us. So I'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love and take care. Lucy, thank you so much for helping. And that's it. Over and out from me. Bye-bye now.